So first off, I kind of don't like the way this is set up. We're starting first with the final boss.
Yeah, no, I mean the way all of it is. Can we talk about one thing before we start? I'll be honest. What we gotta define what is the coolest, like what is the commonality between each Sly villains? What are their common traits so that we can say this one does it better than the others, right?
Okay, so here's what I want Animal Theme to be correct.
Okay, that's valid.
For like the theme they're going for.
You have to have the right animal for the vibe.
We're going for location.
Yep, I like that too.
And we're going for boss fight when applicable.
Can I add one more? Which is all of the Sly villains have like really developed heartbreaking backstories that try to make you, with the exception of maybe Raleigh, who was like doing great before he decided to be a dickhead. And I think that if they have really good backstories, Mugshot's an example, or if they have really shitty backstories, Raleigh, I don't even remember what Paradox.
That fucking Paradox, which one's Paradox?
He's the skunk there next to the
okay, let's get that out of the way. We'll put him in FTL.
Yeah, you know what? I unfortunately will have to agree.
This is not right! My plan was perfect!
He was a lot like Clockla was, like Mila Clockla turned at the end, except his last chapter, it was just, it was the worst thing in the world. That was a good game before that, too.
It was, and I thought he brought it down.
He did. You're 100% right. I mean...
I was not a fan.
The last 2 episodes slowly ground to a halt.
I don't think I got to those episodes. I think I'm just judging him based purely off initial design.
Let me give you some ethos here as well to that. The last boss battle ever in Sly is against this guy. It's all QTs. It's all just QTs.
Okay, yeah, get him down now.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Let's start with this.
We've got our idea of what everybody's good at. And
we're gonna put these two right next to each other because I feel like they're conversations.
Okay.
So I feel like he has to be a bitch because of his whole storyline, but I feel like she does not bring that storyline up to where she needs to be.
How about we make a rule here?
Yeah.
Neela, this thing here is not Neela and Clockwerk. This is just Neela.
Yeah, this is Neela.
So I think Neela is a good villain.
You mean Neela?
Just because it does trick you. You're 9 years old, assumingly.
It did trick me. It did trick me. I feel like they didn't go full speed. I felt like she never got her like. She never became that final
If
boss.
It was me, Neela would be a solid C tier.
You're gonna stay on my dick until you die. You serve no purpose in life. Your purpose in life is to be in my stream sucking on my dick daily. Your purpose in life is to be in that chat blowing a dick daily. Your life is nothing. You serve 0 purpose. You should kill yourself now.
I was actually thinking C tier.
She does a good job of being a cool character. She's an interesting pair to Carmelita because they're both like kind of like, necessarily feline.
If this came out a couple years earlier,
she would have some more of a Catwoman flair to her because she also in the game acts and controls a bit more like Sly does, rather than Carmelita's her own kind of thing. So I thought that was interesting. It was like a dark Sly kind of thing.
Like Shaft the Hedgehog.
Yeah, yep. It was a similar thing to that. And then they kind of dropped the ball when they were supposed to make her the coolest. She also doesn't really have any significant backstory. She's a cool animal, but she doesn't have any specific, there's nothing really.
You were missing that cutscene.
Yeah. So, or even just like a post-reveal like info dump. Or she's just like, this was my plan, nothing. You just watched it happen and then interfered from the sidelines, so.
The old parrot here.
That's tough, because I feel like as far as they set you up with a good backstory for Arpeggio, I don't quite remember. I guess his backstory kind of sucks then.
I couldn't remember either. I thought it was one of those situations where he died before we even got to it.
He kind of, well, like when you're going and traveling, in between the episode, the cutscene there, I think they say something about it, but it must have been boring.
You know what I think holding him up for me?
His design's cool. What?
His design and his level.
Yeah. The airship one is
his
cool.
level fits it.
Because isn't he like a flightless bird? Maybe that's what
No, he's a parrot, right?
While attending a prestigious boarding school, the young Arpeggio excelled in all subjects, but he never managed to keep up with the other boys physically. Sadly, his wings, due to their small size, were useless for flight.
I don't know. That's a good question.
No, I think he's a parrot.
That looks like a parrot to me. We'll agree.
Wait, no, there's another parrot right here.
Yeah, but they double up. They double up. Well, they even double dip. That's that's a villain who specializes in opera, and that happens twice in different animals. So.
Oh, and
one's a lion, one's a.
One of them gets the up, and the other one gets a downgrade, just because how badly the one got the up. So
that's true. They did that. But we'll get to Don Octavio in a second. I honestly
I'm glad we both know which one.
Arpeggio is pretty rough. I'm not a big fan. I would give him
D or F. I'm leaning kind of to D because of the level.
I think he's an F. He's
F?
a bit F tier, just because you don't ever see him. He doesn't think about like. We'll get to some of the greater villains that you...
Yeah, but I feel like he got 2 things, and this guy has nothing. I don't like his design.
Yeah, alright.
And I'm an NYU film school graduate, sucker, and the School of Visual Arts, and the Academy of Art University in San Francisco. You suck! You're a no talent!
Let's have the lowest be the lowest of the level.
Yeah.
Paradox really sucks.
We're just gonna rename that Paradox, actually.
Well,
also, Paradox. That's not really a clever name. That a Yu-Gi-Oh movie villain has the same name.
I think his
and
full
it's about
name
time.
Is Love Paradox. Black Baron.
Black Baron, and we have to include Kill Bill.
Penelope,
yes.
like they're gonna go in the same spot.
Yes.
That's funny because I think the Black Baron's a good villain. I would put he has a decent backstory of like the whole plane competition in Holland. He has a cool design. He isn't an animal. What the fuck is that?
That's the main thing that was bringing him down for me.
Yeah.
Is there was no... If it was like a cool twist, but... I mean, the twist is you don't see it coming, but at the same time, it kind of doesn't go with the thing at all.
Let me give you this. Let me argue that we should separate the two. Because where that...
Oh, no, I'm done with separating the two. I wanted to put them next to each other because it's the same
Okay, I see what you're saying. To me, I like the Black Baron. Also, his voice acting, his character, he brings a lot of the Dimitri factor, which is like he's got that frumpiness that you're like, what the fuck is this?
I bid you all a most flamboyant welcome, my esteemed comrades of the skies.
When you're playing it as a little kid, it doesn't seem like any of the other rough and tumble, sloppy, sly villains. Like, this guy's got some dignity to him. And you're like, hold on a second. What the fuck is this old guy doing here?
So I was interested to see his fight the whole time, too, when I was in that level.
Fisticuffs. That was my favorite part of that whole area, that whole...
I will have to say, I don't like his level.
I liked his level quite a bit because it was the only one in Sly 3 that just felt like a normal European city. And if you think about Sly 2, like, those were the funnest ones.
Yeah, but I don't know. The hills, I just didn't like traversing it.
It was the biggest one. It felt like the biggest one, and then felt like the most confusing. So I would put that one in a solid B tier to me personally. What do you think?
I was thinking about C.
You know what? I will give you that on the. I don't know. The fact that he's Penelope is kind of cool. I think that's kind of neat.
I'll give you this one because I'm gonna be fighting hard later.
That was smashing.
Penelope is terrible. Penelope, I'm gonna go with...
Yes, but can we also acknowledge how funny it is that Bentley's like character progression through the whole series is bookworm, and he's finally getting to his action. He breaks his legs. Finally coping with the fact he breaks his leg, gives himself a hot go, but cucks him in the next series.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that is if you remember what the next episode after the Black Barons episode, he's like kind of self-conscious the whole time because it's like Sly's like muscular or some shit.
Okay, so clearly we need more points in order for Sly to ascend. The problem? Where we're going to get them. The answer? Split each chute down the middle, thereby doubling the points of ascension. However, the ice down there appears too thin to walk on, so there's no way to do it by hand. So, I'll need to use my lightweight remote control car to split the trees for us.
Perfect! That's it, exactly!
Great! Anything for Sly. I love to see him pull off those athletic moves.
Bitch, I got murder on my mind. Bitch, I got murder on my mind.
And there's like a whole episode where he has to go and...
He started watching Andrew Tate. It's like a weird like spiral he goes through.
Funny, but I hate the surprise in number 4.
I don't like that surprise too, because I felt like you're just redoing Black...
Yeah, the Black Baron. Yeah.
Okay, thank God. I
It's alright.
I didn't want to miss.
No, this is why I'm here. I have a creepy level of obsession about the story.
I thought we were going backwards. I thought, it was like this whole thing with Black Baron. I was like, oh, that's neat. Now we go back with no, she's actually evil, and she's not bringing back the Black Baron.
Yeah.
And it's like,
just
why?
And her boss fight sucked. It was a leader, like, you notice she's just her, because the actual person in the level that she's the boss of is never there. It's a big-ass robot you fight at the end. And you don't, it's just, there's no cool, imposing character that puts his personality into the guards, into the air. She sucks. She sucks. I would put her, honestly, not quite with La Paradox, because she is cooler as a character. But I put her with, Arpeggio, if it was me.
Yeah, I'm agree with it.
Bitch, I got murder on my mind.
Clockwerk, I feel like that's an S.
Yeah.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
The way that the art design and the story design in the first game was, Clockwerk was like, that was a very neat idea of a villain. For you, like, let's take it where these are actually real people and not like goofily animated animals. A dude that uses makeshift machinery to keep himself alive so that he can kill every single one of your kids, even after you've been dead for thousands of years, is fucking psychotic.
Mills, I want to be a doctor when I grow up.
I just catch you wanting to be shit.
And the fact that it fits so well, he's an owl.
He's a Russian owl.
Who doesn't a Russian owl hunt for? A raccoon.
Yeah.
It fits perfectly.
They're both night creatures, but
and
owls don't steal.
He works. He's one of those villains that work if you don't see him for long.
I also like that he was like a thief that just sucked ass. You know, like he
so why would he? Look how big he is.
And he can't really use his feet. And like they don't care. Even like guards that are birds can't really use their hands. Like he can only use his feet. But you just suck so bad that you want to just kill the guy who's better at the thing that you do. That would be like me saying, where is Slash? I have to kill Slash because he's better at me than guitar. That's so fucked. And he's not. Well, I'm not better.
Don't you find out in the series too that Clockwerk does get some of the slide members? Like he does like canonically just he slides parents. There's a big one.
Well, he gets them all. Sly's the first guy that says, "All right, we gotta kill this fucking owl.
We gotta kill him and we gotta spread his ashes like fucking Dracula."
I think it's when in Sly 2, you go up to the Clockwerk or something, in the background, there's always Clockwerk. And it's like, shit, man, he's always there.
We're gonna have to draft him in the #1 player haters association.
Got a car, man. I only got one car. Why you got 3 cars or a wife or all that, man? That's played out, man.
And this is okay. You notice I compromised on a couple of these because I was saving it up for this choice.
Yeah.
And to me, it's the guy right next to Clockwerk on S-tier villains, and that is
Octavio.
Young Octavio.
I agree. I would agree with that.
The best false boss in probably I think all Sly.
Took the walk to Poland.
Yeah, and his
I love his music segments. I love his level. I love the just the boss fight and just the air he brings.
You know, one thing that you get out of Octavio that you don't get almost ever again in Sly, it's one of my favorite moments in 3, when you're doing a platforming level and you're going through the air vents and you're above him, like he's like shit talking some of his guards, and you actually see his character model.
Yeah.
And you never see that in this game.
I love his talent segments too.
Yeah, those are fun
too.
Yep. And he's bitching these guys out.
He is a diva. He loves it. He would fit in it on any set.
Yeah. Yep. He's definitely like
he keeps a loaded gun on him so he gets danger on him in every scene.
That's true.
I'm picturing Henry Winklow and Barry.
And to poison the water supply of your own city on purpose is fine. His guards are the funniest fucking NPC characters in that new series.
No, I think it was his level where you have to disguise yourself and go to like aren't you looking at art?
No, you go to these coffee houses that he like has protection rackets on, and then the last guy he's like, "Oh, mamma mia, I got to get home to my mother's spaghetti." And they like make this long Italian stereotype joke that like all of the characters say a little bit about. I don't know. They were writing out their asses for that third game, man. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm 8 years old. Like, we're being racist against Italians already? Good lord.
Yeah.
We're gonna put. I feel like, you know, a character like Clockwerk. You live for thousands of years. Octavio is mad that the Beatles pissed him off. Like,
very reasonable.
Yeah, I would say that's the way to go.
How you tell me Wingo's about all this and Don Octavio?
No, absolutely not. But they do, like, the dogs that are, like, in his performance spaces, like the Beatles. It's hilarious.
His enemies designs are great. I know, though.
I just realized something. What? Those dogs, you know how at the end of Slide 3 they do, like, a Where Are They Out Now segment? Yeah. And those dogs are learning from the guru.
Oh.
I forgot. I just realized that those are the same.
I forgot they have those segments.
Those are really fun. I like that. I love this fucking game. Continue. We need to keep going. I'm getting lost.
We got the spider lady herself, Contessa.
I'm not a big fan of I hate her level.
I will admit, her level isn't my favorite.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I feel like she's only like a 1 level kind of.
Yes, that was one that...
She is really cool in the series as she's the one that got Sly. Just for a while.
Yeah, that's neat. I wish that they would have fleshed out Interpol a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then I would have dug it.
Is she Interpol?
Yeah, so she's like Carmelita's boss. And that's interesting, but she also shits on Carmelita for not catching Sly, so it makes sense.
You could wasted potential, but I still feel like some of it...
I would put her with, like, C tier to me.
C?
And that makes sense. She's next to Neela.
First of all, you're nothing but a trashy hoe. Second of all, you suck dick. Third of all, you're not a boss-ass bitch. You're a boss-ass trashy hoe.
I had 2 levels, and I feel like she doesn't deserve the 2nd level. And let's talk about...
They took a 2nd level from Dimitri for that. Or Rajan.
Yeah, Rajan has 2, and I feel like his first one matches because he's the prince. He's big bad. Second one comes, now he's not.
Yeah. And
now he's like, okay, now he's pissed. That's interesting. Now he's down bad on his luck. You're gonna see how he's gonna react.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in Breaking Bad, where like you start pissing off Gus, and you're like, okay, how's Gus gonna react to this?
Right.
So,
he's never as in control, though.
Yeah,
you know, you get the sense that he's very... Like, he's kind of the mugshot of this game, where he does a lot more acting than he does thinking. You get the sense.
I felt like he was a great boss to come after Dimitri.
Yes, but I think, speaking of Dimitri, I'm going to go ahead and just say it. S tier for sure.
S tier Dimitri.
S tier ahead of Octavio.
Are we considering his tone?
Yeah, we're considering everything. His backstory is hilarious. The fact that he just sucks at art, so he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna forge art. I'm gonna do really bad. And then he gets away with it for so long that he thinks he's really good at art again. And just starts being like this artistic Parisian guy. He was the first Juicy Sweet. He was the first person with drip.
That is not part of the uniform, Ken. You need to take that off. This outfit is too matchy as it is.
The fact that his hero tone just revolve around my parents used to be scuba divers. I can be your scuba diver if you need me.
And you think...
And so it's like, I would never say yes to this, but in this one situation, I do need a scuba diver.
The other part about that's funny is at the point where you meet him in Slide 2, none of that is ever talked about or discussed. And he says the funniest thing in Slide 3 where he asks Sly for a favor and he goes, this is no will you feed my plants and water my fish kind of thing. This is a big one. And you're like, what the fuck? And then halfway through the game, he's like, will you go on a pirate treasure hunt with me? Hold on, wait. I thought you were a lounge lizard. I thought that was, no, I'm a marine iguana. Like, no, what?
It fits his character. They bring in someone.
He has his own song.
I'm doing this.
Trust me, gay is in, gay is hot. I want some gay it's gonna be.
Rajan is tougher. I think he's high A tier.
High A tier?
Yeah.
I was gonna put him A tier, A or B, but I was leaning more towards A.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!
His level has one of my favorite slime moments of all time.
What's that?
It's where Sly's dancing with Carmelita,
Oh,
and the whole
yeah.
time there's a whole
Yeah.
crime battle happening on top of this dinosaur.
And he's just like
He is smacking
has
hard.
the smoothest game too. She has no idea.
He was reaching levels of Tom from Tom and Jerry, where
Yes.
he has the coat, he's spitting the tobacco down.
One more point about Dimitri back up.
Yes.
Which was that he had
the best outfit in the whole game. I really loved all of his wardrobe.
hands down 100%. He also had the songs. If you remember going into the disco and right on YouTube when I was like playing these games for the first time, people used to like do like gameplay of Sly and put like music behind the characters and be like, this is what this character is looking like. They put on fucking I Believe in Miracles by Hot Chocolate.
We got the Mandrill.
Dr. M is a contender for low S tier to me, maybe lower than Octavio. I think that his backstory is cool as shit.
I'll do the low S. But I also like his backstory of being a member of the Sly gang and then just getting fucked over. Oh, maybe not. Wait, did he get fucked over?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of
was it a slight he took?
So it's not explicit. This is. Can I be a little deep lore here?
Yeah.
I hope this doesn't embarrass me about how much I like Sly Cooper, but there are comic books that Dark Horse made, or maybe Dark Horse or DC, one of the two of them, that take place in between 2 and 3, where Sly gets a letter from the Murray and his dad's gang, and it's alluded slightly that Dr. M like tipped off Clockwerk for the Fiendish 5. So that's pretty devilishly.
He wants to be. He
was
the
jealous.
Yeah. No. That's a good backstory.
To me, that's pretty sweet. I mean, this is a game about.
But it needed to be kind of like that for a final boss.
And the
of 3.
Yeah, the Cooper Vault thing too is. That was
that's amazing.
It's a cool plot point.
If you played any of these games, you wanted to go to the Cooper Vault.
Yes, exactly. Because where does it all go? Why is Sly like
the
living
fact
in a
it's
normal
its
house?
own island?
It's so big and it's like under too. It's like an iceberg.
You need a professional scuba diver. You need someone to drive an RC. You need someone who has fireworks.
Explosives, yeah. El Jefe.
El
El Jefe's hard because El Jefe had a great boss fight, but he slaps Murray's ass, if I'm not mistaken. When you do that rhythm thing where Murray's in the geisha costume, remember when he like grabs that handful of his ass?
Yeah.
That's an awkward scene. They shouldn't have done that.
I kind of want to put him in S tier now. Let's put him in front of Clockwerk.
I don't know. I feel like A tier.
I was thinking A. I want to put him in front of Mugshot.
I think he has a cooler design.
Man, I don't know what to think no more, man.
Okay, de-escalate. Nobody's messing with your head.
Get out of your head.
Nobody's messing with your head.
Get out of your head.
No, nobody's messing with your head, man.
I'm glad this is set up how it was, because I feel like, is his name Book? What am I thinking of?
No, his name's The Grizz.
The Grizz?
Yeah.
I get a strong YJ vibe from The Grizz.
The Grizz's thing, I think, is that he was a hip-hop artist, and he rapped the whole time.
He's a graffiti.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. He does do rapping.
Yeah, he does do rapping.
Everything's rhyming when he's.
But his backstory is about the graffiti.
Yes, you're right.
I personally hate his level. I love him.
Yeah, and I hate Bob. I'm sorry, I do hate Bob.
I also hate Bob.
But I remember, you don't really see him very much throughout the level, too. And that's something, like we said, El Jefe, that's like.
Which was missing, because he was charismatic enough.
Yes, yeah, he was him and El Jefe, because these are the first 2, if I'm not mistaken, levels in that game.
No, I think Bob was the 3rd. I think Tennessee Kid Cooper was the 2nd.
Yeah, you might be right. But, point being, we got to that boss fight, and I was fucking dying playing that fucking level. But I think, to me, he's up there with Black Baron, to where he was memorable.
I would put him above Black Baron.
Yeah, I agree.
If you ever see me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear, because that bitch gonna need it.
Contessa and Jean Bisson, who we're on now.
Okay,
kind of forgettable in Sly 2.
Okay, that's where the debate comes in.
Okay.
Because I'm debating for my boy John Bon.
Okay, all right.
John Bonzon. John Bonzon, I feel like he had the level that they were trying to go for Boog.
Yeah.
But Boog is the guy from Open Season. What's that movie called?
Open Season.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love his level.
Yeah.
I love his. I think his gimmick in his level was putting the cane in the ice, and I think he has one of my favorite boss fights in the whole series with
Bentley. The first boss fight sucks.
I know what it's called too. It's called Brains vs. Bronze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it was the first time I heard that expression. So every time I heard that expression, I'm like, oh my god, they passed the jump on jump fight too.
that is one thing that we have, because I don't remember them, is one thing. But the names of the levels, each level had a different. They call it episodes. The level had a different title, like it was a season or a book. Jean Bison's was the cold, dark north, or something fucking deep like that.
It was
Do you remember
the lights? The lights with the
lights.
picture.
Yeah. Do you remember his backstory?
No.
Can I tell it to you?
Well, yeah.
This is one of my favorite Sly villain backstories. So Jean Bison was born in like the 1800s, and he was sent north to clear cut the Canadian wilderness and froze solid while doing it. And then they thawed him out in the future. So when he came back to reality in the present, he was like disgusted by all the technology. And his criminal empire was pretty much based on just trespassing and clear-cutting the Canadian wilderness, and he was like obsessed with it. And that's where he used talons, I think, of Clockwerk to cut down shit, which was cool.
I love how they use this corpse of this man just for. Not only Dimitri's number S, he used him for fucking making money.
That was the tail feathers.
He used the dead guy's tail
He
feathers.
said, "Give me that booty. I'm about to make some cash."
And we have him right behind him, so he's always looking at Clockwerk's booty.
Wendy! Bitch, don't you want to start making some real fucking money?
John John, I'm making a case. I'm putting my limb out. I'm putting A.
All right, I'm on with that.
Like all of a sudden, I'd be trying to prove that I'm not crazy when I knew I wasn't crazy.
Right. One distinction we have to make here is that Jean Bison's his level, I think, the 2 levels.
He has 2?
Yes, he does have 2, and that's the problem. Him and Contessa should have been 1-level villains, but we're not.
What was his second one?
He had just 2. There was one where you went to his camp. There was the next one. He kind of beat you. You were doing the lumberjack games, and he beat you in the lumberjack games. You guys hid aboard a giant battery. They emptied the battery, you hid inside of it, which is a little fantasy-ish. And then beyond that, you went to his next station in the battery hidden when everybody thought you were already kind of done for. So you it was a sneak attack with Bentley. But here the issue with it is Contessa is right after a 2-level, dark, depressing trounce through Eastern Europe. And then Jean Bison is a 2-level, dark, depressing trounce through Northern Canada. And by the time you get to the end of Sly 2, you're just like, oh my, can we go somewhere where the fucking sun is out? Because it's really dark shading, and it visually gets looking, the end of the ass end of that game starts looking muddy. But this isn't a tier list of the levels, it's of the villains. So they just did Jean Bison dirty on the level he was in.
No, I agree. Both cases, I think they should have been 1 level. This guy, who I can't remember his name.
His name was LeFew.
LeFew.
I think. Or LeFouy, sorry, that was something like that.
I feel like Dimitri.
Dementia's what's setting in as we talk about this guy's name.
Well, he had dementia. Didn't canonically, he couldn't tell Sly from his people?
No. So there's one of those conversation games is that his first mate is still in this pirate town, and you go there and you have to have a swearing match with him for him to tell you, for you to think that, or it wasn't his first mate, it was one of his enemies, for you to think that you guys were impersonate the man's friend, and then the drunk man tells you what's up with LeFew, and he kind of gives you the lowdown and stuff.
I think his design's good. I like the parrot aspect. I don't think he's that memorable.
Well, I think it deserves a spot in B tier.
I'll give him B tier because I like his level. I like the gimmick of his level is fantastic.
His gimmick as a character.
The One Piece. The One Piece is real.
Can we get much higher? So high.
not mistaken, was that he was just very, very intelligent. And he tricks Sly. Many times he gets ahead of Sly, and they get him in one last big ruse. And his final boss fight, if you remember, is first with Sly with the cane. You do sword fighting. It's the mechanics are shit. The controls are terrible, but he's a cool character. I think he's not. I think Black Baron might be a bit cooler than him, so I think his placing here is fine.
Oh, I accidentally put the placing down. I wasn't paying attention.
I think, you know what? If anything, he's high C tier to me.
High C tier?
Yeah.
We're gonna put him in. Oh.
I saw him once. Sure, I'm blind in one eye, and my other eye was infected that day from picking at it. And I was tired, and I'd been swimming in a pool with too much chlorine. And that was the hour my glasses were at Lens Crafters, but I seen that face.
Okay, now we're on my least favorite Sly boss.
The Mask?
The Mask.
Yeah, that goes in the Paradox.
Paradox.
Yeah.
You need to stop being such a cunt.
Funny that you had to climb up Giant Carmelita.
Yeah, that was someone's fetch. So I bet if I played that now, I wouldn't have the same affinity for it.
I never thought about that. I just thought it was funny.
This is where we could lose people.
On Mugshot?
Mugshot. I think we both have the same idea. We will go into S.
Yes, 100%.
But
better than Dr. M, and maybe better than Octavio.
Not better than Dimitri.
It's hard to say because, no.
The fact
Mugshot's
Mugshot,
not in Sly 2.
The fact Mugshot is in Sly 3 and Bentley just starts calling his mama ugly and fat.
Your mother has more gentleman colors than the operator.
And he is getting so ridiculously mad. And he's like, what the fuck did you just say? He has his dog fighting match. By the way, dog fighting and he's in it.
Yes.
That's a poke.
It's also hilarious to think of him fitting in a plane.
Yeah.
Because the planes are so small. He's S tier. The question is whether or not he's better than Dimitri.
They're both in the same number of games.
Yep. They're both iconic
villains.
for sure. They're both great designs, great backstories.
Honestly, and I would say when you think false bosses in Sly, I feel like most people think Mugshot than the Fog, even though the Fog is the false one.
Yeah, Raleigh's pretty unforgettable.
He's like a tutorial.
I would say we put him ahead of Don Octavio and say him and Dimitri are kind of level. Those are two if somebody came to you and said, here is Sly's Rogues Gallery, if it was like a comic book.
Mugshot would be would be the false.
Yeah. Oh, you know it, lad. You know that Hassan Piker? I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house.
All right, Ms. Ruby.
Ms. Ruby, okay.
She's got a cool backstory, which is she's creepy as a kid.
Cool backstory.
Cool design.
Voodoo, Louisiana alligator. You're mixing culture with region with animal. I feel like one of the best in the series.
Yes, she's a quintessential. All the things we asked for, she hits, but she's not incredibly rememberable. To me, I would think she's better than El Jefe.
She's not in it for that long. I feel like that's another problem with her.
She's kind of a one and done.
And I know you hate her boss fight. I think it's really funny watching Sly just do a bunch of quick motions. Back and forth. That's PlayStation fun now. That's using the console. That's innovative
I've got two problems with the boss fight. For one, it only shipped correctly fucking once. Only one time. They've repackaged these games however many times. You can play it on the PS2 and not want to shoot yourself. And then every other time you play it, it's not fucking timed correctly, which is a problem. And two, is that the overall thing in the level just doesn't hit me as strongly. I think she's cooler than El Jefe.
El Jefe?
I think she
So you're going to put A?
Yeah, I would say she's the top in A. What do you think? Do you think she's cooler than El Jefe?
Yeah.
I just think she hits what we need more than El Jefe does.
Yeah, because I like I said before, all of it just hit so well. Louisiana alligator.
Yeah, but what do we think about Raleigh? You just did this.
I just did the boss fight.
Yeah, you
boss
just did
fight.
all of it.
Boss fight was pretty okay. Didn't hate it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, bam! Get the hell out of here. He's an easy boss. I do like how his art changed. Okay, fuck me. Okay, that was unfair.
He's
like
great
I said
voice
before,
acting.
great voice acting. I feel like he's a tutorial.
Yeah.
So he's a great tutorial, but that's what he is. I feel like I can only give him a B.
I was thinking better than LeFew. He's the best nautical themed Sly villain. But
which one,
LeFew?
He's
the parrot.
Better than parrot?
I'm C tier.
Yeah, I can give him that.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
I feel like if they would have done more with him, he could have been a Mugshot level character because
his level was only 8 missions and they were show as hell, and you couldn't even hear him from all
his voice actor was out for fucking blood.
How delightful! We have a guest. The only thing is, I hate unexpected guests!
He had to be the quintessential campy boss.
Yeah.
To introduce you to
He's
this
like
world.
the British aristocrat bad guy.
And he's the only one that his backstories is, no, I just want to be evil.
Yes, yeah, I would agree with that.
No other emotions, nothing told me evil.
Did
I just
wrong.
woke up and
Except for maybe Clockwerk, but Clockwerk
doesn't. No, you can make Clockwerk a jealousy.
How funny would it be if like Prince Charles or King Charles or whatever, who I kind of think Raleigh is similar to, if he just
They
suddenly
had the same teeth.
Yeah, well, they all have the same
and
teeth.
they were both very happy when the queen died. We got the armadillo.
He was funny enough. He was a strong C tier character to me.
I'm so glad you said C tier because I wasn't going high.
He was I don't remember. I think his backstory was he loved cowboy films, and he was like a scatterbrained. He's like an annoying kid who's really.
Hefe's really holding it down.
Yeah, but he's like an annoying kid who really was into cowboys,
Yeah,
and he's he has like a really bad temper. But I think he's somewhere in C tier, probably worse than Contessa, probably worse than Nila.
I was just thinking
bottom of C tier.
Guns don't kill people, the government does.
Yeah, bottom of C tier.
Now here we got some heavy. The last two, some
we have
heavy
to talk.
hitters.
I moved them because I want these two to go last ones because these two go together. Let's talk about Panda King first. Great boss in the fourth one. Fit Panda, explosive.
He
docile animal usually,
and also he got completely fucked over by society because then nobody wanted to buy his fireworks.
Fucked up.
That's you can get behind that.
Has probably, in my opinion, a better redemption story. Well, then to Dimitri, because it had to be because he helped in killing his parents.
Oh yeah.
And the whole inside the mind battle with Sly, and Sly doesn't like him for the whole fight, and the whole time he's with him.
And also the mirror conversation you have. There's a mini game where you are the Panda King, and you have one of those conversation mini games with both sides. Like he's like in his Sly 1 outfit in the mirror, and you're in his Sly 3 outfit, and he's like, Cooper will help us with Gene King. I hope this isn't racist. And they kind of argue back and forth at each other, and you eventually get them both to realize, and he comes to inner peace or whatever. That was a great. It's tough because General Tsao, Sly hated him.
Let's put a little backstory. He's the one that's dating Panda King's.
He kidnapped Panda King.
So we gotta kidnap him. We gotta wait.
Yes.
We gotta wait his ass and let's go.
Look here. Give me a second. Let me set this one up. The whole third game. The third game is called Sly Cooper, Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
General Tsao has no honor at all. He's obsessed with himself.
Complete antithesis
of Panda King and of Sly, who only steals from thieves and generally isn't obsessed with himself.
He's a great person to bring these two together.
And whenever they have that one, him and Sly have that one fight on the reeds or the bamboo shafts, and Sly doesn't even have time to wisecrack. He's like, "You're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
you suck. I hate you."
He's fully down. He's like, I want to kick your ass.
He's got an ancestral thing too.
Yeah.
Because his thing is like, "Oh, the Tsao ancestors, they're the greatest line." And obviously Sly has some experience with that. I'm like, well, you don't have to be a fucking dickhead about it.
Yeah, you don't have to do a clock.
Yeah, you should just steal things from people without mercy. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I think General Tsao's. I almost want to say that they could both have a spot in S tier, but it just if General Tsao is not in S tier, he's in high A tier.
I'll give him. I'll put highest as A tier.
You know what's ironic about this? You're the one who looks stupid right now.
Okay. So you're stronger than I am. You've proven that. Fine.
Okay, and then Panda King, where does he fit in S tier? That's the only question.
I think I got a location. Right below Mugshot.
This into the Dragon Warrior, huh? Fuck you! You fucking.
He just like these two, come back for 2 games.
Yeah.
But Dimitri's the one that's probably on the box where you talk about Sly.
Also, he's just great.
Mugshot's the one that you think of when you come back to it.
Yes, Mugshot could be in any of the games.
Yeah, Mugshot could be in any of the games. Panda King, you have a conversation, his name's brought up always, but it's not the start and it's not the initial look. So this is our list.
We did really. This is a pretty compact. I think there's maybe a few blind spots on some of the Sly 4 characters that we don't remember as well. But
I'm feeling so confident on the choices between our S's and our bottoms.
Yeah, and it's.
You can make a case. Maybe you don't like our middles.
But here's one thing I'll say: even the shitty ones, with the exception of maybe Penelope and Arpeggio, because they just don't have enough time, any of these, if you took this entire concept back to 1944 and started a comic book, it would be fucking huge now. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the perfect classic American serial kind of villain. It's like I love it. It's just hilarious.
You can just look off these characters and you can just know what their gimmick is.
Yeah, you know what? And another thing
maybe except Arpeggio, is he an artist?
I don't even remember. I think he might be a bookworm, kind of like
is he a Maps dude? Arpeggio.
That would make sense. That would make sense. And he's such into flying. I don't remember, but if we don't remember just off of the however many minutes you get, and you also, what I was going to say a second ago is every one of these characters, if you just put their character model on a silhouette,
you know who it is,
and you'd be interested in that silhouette. You know, and that's the mark of a good cartoon character like this.
Except you probably mess up when you get to Nadia.
Yeah.
Is her name Nadia?
Her name is Neela. No, right.
So this is not going well. Okay, so I called her Nali the whole time, and I called him like 10 different names.
Like, I don't mean to expose you here, but I don't think you've ever finished a Sly game, have you?
No, I almost finished Sly 1. I was on the Clockwerk level.
Yeah, the controls and that.
And I beat Sly 2.
Did you beat Sly 2 or did you use cheat codes?
I used the cheat code to get to the final level, and I beat the final level. It was really weird because I beat the final level, and it's like Bentley's like handicap, and I was like, okay, time to play Watch A level 2.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess you beat it. I guess
Sly
we'll give you that.
Sly 3. No, I got lost. I could not get past that pirate level.
I think you would like Sly 3.
Sly 4, I really did not like the winter level. I stopped.
Oh, I think we did a good job. That's pretty compact, pretty comprehensive.
I think we did too.